Greetings everyone, my name is Altarian and welcome back to another beautiful episode of Lay a Beauty to Rest, the Darkness Peach Blossom Spring. I see you have made it so far. Consider subscribing to the channel and joining and helping us reach unseen heights. Thank you for doing so. We will continue our day going to Kung Za. We have not visited him yet, so he's probably out fishing. He is indeed. Have we seen this already? Probably have. Can we skippity booby? No, we cannot skippity boo. I am also very interested in fishing and I hope to observe. There we go, he's gonna catch some fish. He's going, we're going to explaining that we have a different types of fishing rods in the outer world. He's going to catch a big fish. I'm pretty sure. There we go. So we finally caught one. Now, we will give him a compliment that he looks like a young man. And what will we do now? Is there anything different than very first time that we did? Aha, what is the origin of the name Hue Village?
哟，这个其实我们也不太清楚啊，只知道村里的人都是躲避战乱而来的。忽略，大概是逃难而来的人们的故乡吧。
Oh, in fact, it's not very clear. We only know that our ancestors came here to escape from the war. I guess you could be the hometown of the village.
Oh, is there any records of historical records or books in the village?
没有啊，不问过去，把握当下，这是我们村子的文化。
No, forgetting the past and remembering the present are the customs of our village.
Well, that's probably why villages has no monetary or written languages. Oh, and there's one more thing. In your memory, am I the first outsider here?
自我记事起就不曾见过外人了，记名是我见过的第一个外人。
I've never met an outsider since I can remember. No, you mean is the first one?
Oh, haven't outsiders been here before? Why does Xinghe react strongly to outsiders? There's no record of history in the village. So many things are hard to find. Kungsa didn't seem to be lying, though. Things getting more and more complicated, I think. Night falls, and I looked at the countdown timer, and the remaining hour is 6. Though there's a little more than 10 times the arrow, it is estimating to be run in 2 days. Forget about this. Go and fight Shuangha of the night. Don't keep her waiting too long. There she is again, lying sensual in the boat. I kept the appointment on the starry lake and took the boat with Shuangha in the middle. What would you like to hear today?
我想听听外面的人是怎么成亲的。
I want to know how people on the outside get in pairs. Getting in pairs? Do you mean getting married? I remember that in ancient times, most of the marriages were arranged by parents. The parents of both sides matched their children who were in an equivalent social class. However, people have become more open-minded in the past 100 years, so nowadays parents let their children decide themselves. Mostly marriages were a result of love.
爱情，
Love. Love is when two people like each other and want to establish a long-term relationship. Nowadays, most people from outside will choose to marry each other after only if they fall in love first. So I explained to Shuangha, and she listened very carefully. I was quite surprised that the goddess wasn't familiar with this concept. When you first met me, you kissed me, right? Saying so, are you so experienced in this? What I mean by that is, if you had any experience loving someone. Beat around the bush to inquire about Shangshua love experience.
不知道。我那时吻你，只是我觉得好玩儿，就那么做了。
Actually, no. I just thought it was funny, so I kissed you.
我只是活得太久了，久到我对任何事都会感到厌烦。这种事只是随性而为。
I've lived for such a long time now, I get bored with everything. This act was just, kind of spontaneous.
这么想来，千年来，并没有遇到过能让我倾慕的人。
Well, I haven't met anyone I would admire in 1,000 years. Changhua said lightly and looked ahead with her eyes cold and deep. I suddenly realized that Changhua at night is very special. On the one hand, she does things according to her own desires, and her behavior does not follow etiquette. On the other hand, she does not understand love and has no love experience. What did she go through to become like
季
this?
明，再多讲些成亲的事吧。
Jimmy, tell me about marriage, please. Okay, so in the following time, I told Changhua about the difference between Western wedding and Eastern weddings. According to the Western wedding customs, when two people get married in a church hall, one wears a wedding dress and the other wears a stiff suit. They say vows to each other, drink a cup of wine, and exchange rings. According to the Eastern weddings, two will follow such steps, firstly bowing to the heaven, secondly bowing to the parents, thirdly bowing to each other, and at last the husband will lift the red veil of the wife's head in the wedding night. Modern weddings are often a combination of Eastern and Western cultures. Changhua sat in the bow of the boat and listened intently, like a little girl. As she listened, she played with her hair hanging. With her hair. The fingers were wrapped around the hair and tied in a knot. She pursed her lower lip, as if imagining herself in a wedding dress. Sometimes with a smile at the corners of her mouth. I didn't think she was interested in such a thing as marriage, but maybe she's now. Today's topic, the goddess, or the mountain god, seems to like it, right? Okay, so far we live, but where are our rewards? What's she saying about rewards? So we wake up again in this familiar room and haven't slept. I've fallen asleep 4 times now in the rings of a bell. When I woke up this time, I didn't have the initial feeling of confusion, though I have a clear and full plan of my daily life. Well, to go find Changhua first, and then make a good relationship with other people of the village. Early in the morning, I came to the altar again. Changhua got here a step ahead of me.
桃花，桃花，桃花，桃花。
That's so cute when she exercises and just keeps on repeating these words. Where are we now? Okay, plot. I guess we must indeed unravel the plots of everybody else. So when I first arrived, she was standing on the altar, reciting the word speech blossom. Seriously practicing the method, I thought her yesterday. And after every pose and a dance movement, she would read out a peach blossom. She's very focused. I stood by for quite some time until she noticed me.
季明，早上好。
Good morning, Jiming. Morning. I've been watching you dancing.
你觉得怎么样？有进步吗？
What do you think? Is there any progress? Much better than the first time, actually. I praised her and she was quite happy to hear it.
那
Here, this is for you. Changhua handed me a small bamboo basket which contains several squared cakes. These cakes are pink and white. And by looking carefully, there are petals of peach blossom dotted among the white rice cakes. What is
这
this?
是我早上做的桃花糕，尝尝看。
We've got some extra stuff. She previously also gave this, but now we've got a picture. This is the peach blossom cake I made in the morning. You can try it. Alright. Took a piece of the cake and a bamboo basket and bit slightly. When I just bit down, it was crisp but not sticky, and the fragrance melted sweetly and softly. Yummy! Changhua, did you make this just for me?
很感谢季明对我的帮助，这是我送你的回礼。
Thank you very much for your help. This is my gift for you in return. Changhua said with a slight blush, looking a little bit cute though. I ate a few more pieces and Changhua watched with satisfaction as I finished them all. Delicious. Before I came to the Peach Blossom Spring, I didn't realize that eating was such a wonderful thing. It's like I said in 2 episodes back. Right now, eating a peach blossom cake made by Changhua. I mean, I'm an inexplicable inspiration. After eating the cake, I watched Changhua practice dancing for a while, and I said goodbyes to her and returned to the village. What am I going to find next? Kungza already did it. Let's go continue with Mrs. Zhang, I guess. Where are we? Yeah, I guess we need to Mrs. Zhang, then Kungza again. Then we can continue towards this plot. I decided to look for Mrs. Zhang again. She was very gentle. She also teaches me well in weaving. Today I want to learn a little bit more. This time I could remember how to get to the house without the guidance of someone else. On the way I heard some noise that came from the children who were playing in the distance.
喂，小石头，你这小不点儿，怎
哎
么斗得过黑将军？
小石头, you want to beat General Black?
不试试怎么知道？
How do you know if you don't try, huh? Why the well the children all gathering under the tree? I looked closer and found them fighting crickets. Xochitl also took part in it. Took out the green cricket from a small bamboo tube and put it into the arena. The arena was just a small circle of field surrounded by several stones. As long as 2 crickets were placed inside, the territorial crickets would fight each other. The opponent of Xochitl is a little kid on the opposite side. That kid put out a majestic black cricket with a square head and strong legs. As soon as the black cricket entered the arena, it quickly fought with the green one.
黑将军，咬他，咬他，咬他呀！
Black General, bite it! Bite it! As soon as the boy voice fell, the black cricket kicked its leg and attacked the green one. The green cricket took 2 steps back and avoided the first attack from the black one. The green cricket seemed a little bit afraid of the stronger opponent. So the black one did not give the green cricket a chance to breathe. Suddenly, the black cricket rushed up again. It pushed the green one into the corner, and the green one could not retreat anymore. Finally, the black cricket bited the green one like a crocodile. The green cricket kicked and struggled, but the black one pressed the green with its feet. So the green cricket could not breathe anymore and died in a moment. That's a brutal sport.
黑将军打赢了，黑将军是无敌的。
The Black General wins, which is invincible.
我是运气好罢了，我下次会抓更厉害的蟋蟀，咬死你的黑将军。
Just lucky. I will catch more powerful crickets next time, and I will kill your Black General.
你抓不到的。
You're never gonna find such crickets.
抓得到。
I will. You'll see. When the cricket fighting was over, the 2 children quarreled.
说你抓不到就抓不到，输了不服便挨打。
I can promise you won't get him. If you're dissatisfied, we can fight. The angry child sat and suddenly rushed forward and pushed Xiao Shitao. Xiao Shitao was unprepared and was pushed to the ground. The arrogant appearance of the child reminded me of the big G in Doraemon. However, Xiao Shitao is not Nobi, and he is not easy to be beaten.
收打。
Looking for a hit? Xiao Shitao, that had been pushed down, got up quickly. He punched back and hit the big G in the stomach. Xiao Shitao's fist was wrapped in Big G's belly, which seemed to be heavy armored, removing 80% of the strength of Xiao Shitao. Obviously, the punch is not as powerful as Xiao Shitao expected. The Big G is still swaggering and standing there, but he became more angry.
你敢打我？
What? How dare you? When the big G saw that Xochitl dared to fight back, he rushed up again and threw Xochitl to the ground. He pressed on to body and started beating him. He raised his hand to hit him. Xochitl raised his arm to block it, but because his small stature, he soon fell
服了吗
behind.？
啊，被打服了吗？
Have you been beaten?
我不服，我就不服你！
I'm not, I will not obey you.
不服，你有爹生没爹养，认输都没人教。
Oh, that's quite aggressive, and you're not? Son of a bitch! No one said you to admit defeat.
我要打你，打你，打你！
I'm gonna hit you! Hit you! Xochito's eyes were red and tears flowed out. He clenched his teeth and tried to fight back, but BG relied on his weight advantage, so the Xochito could not break free. The children on one side are also watching the play. They seem to be following the big G. Obviously, it is impossible for them to help Xochito. The kids cheered the fat tiger. and the cry of the little stone's grievance was mixed with their laughter, which seemed ironic. In the laughter of the children, Big G was even more on the head. He threw a punch to the nose of Xiaoshito. Okay, we got another choice. Wow, that's quite heavily, but if we do this, where do we jump to? No, we're gonna stop the fight. Hey, stop it! I shouted loudly, and the Big G stopped punching. I walked to the Big G with a straight face, and all the kids turned to look at me. Get up from this body! I looked at Big G fiercely, and Big G seemed to be shocked by me. Just as I was about to reach out and pull him, he stood up consciously, looking at me with some stubbornness and some vigilance. Well, in the past, when I was in school, there were lots of such kids who liked to bully people by their big size. To educate them. If there is a disagreement, young boy, we should talk it out. There's no need to fight against each other. You look older and stronger than him, and your bullying behavior is beneath contempt. If you bully him again, I'm sorry. I'm happy to be a bully. As I spoke, I walked towards Big G with a straight face.
狗妈，三妈，我们走。大人还掺和小孩的事儿，还揍。
Yeah, come on, Shua, let's go. Adults are not ashamed to get involved in children's affairs.
The boy seemed to be afraid of me, so he called his little sidekicks and left. Xiaoshito got up, patted in dust on his body. He stood up, some confusion. Ah, kid, how are you? Are you alright? I asked him about his condition.
我没事儿，你其实不用帮我的。你这样，下次他们就不跟我玩了。
I'm fine. In fact, you don't have to help me. As a result, next time they will probably won't play with me anymore. That's okay, you know. Those are bad guys. Alright. You can go play with Xiaomishu. I confronted Xiaoshito. Actually, the little girl was willing to play with him yesterday.
我是男孩，不能整天和女孩一起玩。
I'm a boy, you know. I can't play with a girl all day. Xiaoshito didn't like my suggestion at all. Well, you can play with me next time. I can play hide and seek with you again, or I can teach you a new game. I may have said these words to him in order to confront him. Anyway, I won't stay in the Peach Blossom Spring for a long time. It's okay to play with him a few more times when I'm here.
小石头，小石头，
Xiaoshito! What I was thinking, I heard a familiar voice. Mrs. Zheng came running from a distance.
你脸怎么被人打了？
Xiaoshito, how did you get hit in the face?
我跟铁蛋儿打了一架，还好，不疼。
I had a fight with Yedan. It's okay, it doesn't hurt.
铁蛋儿本来要打我鼻子的，是季明出手帮了我。
Shita was going to hit me on the nose, but Yiming helped me. Xiaoshito explained the situation to Mrs. Zhang just now. And the kid finally stopped calling me a weirdo. Ain't that something? Mrs. Zhang took clean water and wiped Xiaoshito's face. He was not too seriously injured, and he soon ran out to play with Xiaomishu. So Mrs. Zhang and I were alone in the room, and she said something to me that she had never mentioned before. I finally know something about her husband.
小石头还很小的时候，我的丈夫正郎便过世了。
But how? My husband, Zheng Lang, passed away when Xiaoshito was just very young.
自从他过世后，我一直独自照顾小石头。
Since he passed away, I've been taking care of Xiaoshito all by myself.
我没有好好教育小石头，有时候没耐心，便会对他乱发脾气。
I didn't educate Xiaoshito very well. Because I lost my temper sometimes, because I was impatient.
可能正是因为我这么做，他对其他人脾气也不太好。
Probably because of this. He wasn't very nice to other people.
我不是一个合格的母亲。
I'm not a qualified mother. Well, you're a very young one. You were probably... How old were you? Probably somewhere in your teens, 16, 17 or something? You had to grow up yourself first. I listened to her. When did your... Apologies, but when did your husband pass away?
很多年前，他在一次狩猎时失踪了。
He disappeared in a hunting journey many years ago.
据说他是被山鬼掳走的。
山鬼在夺人性命之时，也会夺走人们关于他的记忆。
It is said that when he was taken by the mountain ghost, who, besides of taking lives, also take the memories.
哪怕只有几年，却仿佛是过了千百年一样。我和小石头都快记不得他的样子了。
Even if it's only a few years, it seems like thousands of years have passed. Shoshito and I can hardly remember what it looks like.
如今再提起他时，我不再有伤感的感觉了。明明当初我是那么的爱他。
Now that I mention him again, I no longer feel the sadness, even though I loved him so much. The more Mrs. Zhang said, the more emotional she became. And there was a little sob between her words. How should I comfort her? Comfort her? May the deceased rest in peace, while the living must move on with their lives. If someone dies, it's normal for us to forget them day by day, but there's no need to blame ourselves for that. You're so proficient in weaving that many people in the village have used you to finish beautiful clothes. Of course, what's more is, it's not easy for you to raise Kyoshito alone, I understand that, and in my opinion, you're a hardworking woman, gentle and strong. It's very admirable. Your husband would be happy if he could see you right now, I said to Mrs. Zhang very calmly. She looked at me firmly, her eyes were slightly red, almost shed tears. But maybe because I praised her for being strong, she didn't try to cry, at least.
季明，你果然和他很像。
You mean you really look like him? Like him?
之前你来纺织房的时候，我就察觉到了你和正郎很像。
Well, when you entered the textile room earlier, I noticed you're very similar to Zhenglang.
你们长相相似，也都待人温柔，就连那种傻傻的感觉也
Are
很
we
像。
reincarnated, maybe? Both look alike, and you're both gentlemen. Even the goofy feeling is similar. Look alike? Well, is it really such a coincidence? As for gentlemen, well, my ex-girlfriend was also calling me a gentleman before dating, but after a few months, there was nothing left but grumbling.
季明，你相信人死后会转世吗？
Jiming, do you believe in reincarnation after death? I was thinking about it. Mrs. Zhang suddenly asked a strange question. Believe or not? And this question is worth thinking about before answering, of course. Where do we go? If we say yes or no, we'll stay here. Okay. We believe because we know we've been reincarnated as a goat, or at least polymorphs. You'll say yes. I'm quite skeptical about whether people will be reincarnated after death, but if a person is reincarnated after death, the birth of a person is endowed with strange meaning, and the reincarnation cannot escape the relationship with the previous life. Moreover, the fact of population change obviously cannot provide support for the theory of reincarnation. Rational, that's true. However, if there is no reincarnation, everything will return to nothingness after death, which seems so sad, at least. Here, she may want me to answer believe. I also hope that's true, kinda. I kinda believe in reincarnation after death, yeah. Your husband should have been reincarnated long ago and is now living happily somewhere.
我也希望如此。
I hope so too. Mr. Zhang nodded.
对了，
That's right.
有件事我想和季明说一下。
There's also one more thing. Yeah?
刚才我说你很像正郎，希望你不要生气。
Just now I said you look like Zhenglang. I hope you won't be angry.
一时有感而发，我才会这么说的，并没有太多别的意思。
It's just a feeling for a moment. It doesn't mean much. Oh, I won't be angry for that at all. Maybe I really have something like him. It's okay. But I almost thought you were going to think of me as reincarnation of Zheng Lang.
我没有，季明是季明，正郎是正郎，这我还是分得清的。
I didn't. Jiming is Jiming and Zheng Lang is Zheng Lang. I can tell them apart clearly. She blushed and defended, then looked at me seriously. Well, I know. I smiled this time. Mrs. Zhang, however, was like a little kid. She certainly didn't want to have some stranger misunderstanding about what she just said. In the future, if you have any troubles, you can come to me. During the time I'm living in this village, I will be on call.
我知道了。
I see. She nodded and looked at me with confidence. So after spending half a day with Mrs. Zhang, she cooked me a simple meal. With some delicious filled belly. Got some time in the afternoon. Where should I go? To Kunza. Let's go. This part we have not seen yet. So,
河神在此，终于归位。
I guess we are back fishing. Okay, Kunza was in high spirits today. He caught a fish with great force and threw it on the shore. Doesn't look like but we have already done this. I watched him fish, and sometimes he handed me the fishing rod and gave me a try. After we caught like our 5th fish or so, we decided to rest for a while. The two of us walked and chatted by the starry lake.
金明啊，你已在忽月村住了一段时间了，感觉如何呀？
Jiming, you've been living in the Yu village for some time now. How do you feel?
Good, good. I thought I would, one day live in a village before. I actually like it here. When I first arrived here at Peach Blossom Spring, I was a little bit unaccustomed to it, of course, but now I'm quite getting the hang of it all. My daily life is quite regular. In the morning, when I find Shanghua and watch her practice dancing, during the day, I went to find some other villagers, Mrs. Zhang, Xiaoshito, Danyu, you, and many other villagers. Everyone is so good to me. I love it here.
你能习惯这里就好。我也是第一次接待外边来的人，本来啊还有一些担心呢。
You can't get used to here. It was my first time to receive people from the outside. I was a little worried about it.
金明啊，你有没有想过留在这儿啊？
Jiming, have you ever thought about living in the village forever?
Forever? Oh, I was slightly surprised by this question. If the question came on the first day here, my answer would be definitely no. But however, living here in these past few days, maybe I've changed my mind. I also began to think, maybe it's good here. Why do I really need to get back outside? How do I answer him now? We are getting to a plot. Stay here forever. I do not know what to say, actually. Technically speaking, technically, if we stay here forever, are we going to go down this path again? Are we going to be fling over here to stay forever in this village? Or will we try to leave? Oh, I need to think about this one. I need to think about this, guys. Okay, how about we say we will leave one day? Although I like it here, I probably will have to leave one day. I can't give up my life in the outside world completely after all. I was born in the outside world where I belong. For a short consideration, I give my final answer.
太可惜了。
I love this guy's voice.
就没人陪我钓鱼了。
I'm sorry to hear that. Won't have anyone to go fishing with anymore.
金明啊，尽量在忽月村待得久一点吧。大家呢都逐渐接受了你，觉得你是个不错的小伙子啊。
Yiming, please stay in the village as long as possible. Everyone gradually accepts you and considers you as a good
特
man.
别是神女大人，自从你来了以后，她第一次有了朋友，最近呢都很开心。
Especially the goddess, who has a friend for the very first time you came. He's very happy recently.
Really?
是啊，因为她是忽月神的后裔，村民们必须对她遵循敬神的礼仪，和她呢要保持一定的距离。
Yeah, because she's the descendant of the god Hui. The villagers have to keep a distance from her. and follow the rituals of godly worship.
你不用在意村中的规矩，能对他畅所欲言，这对他来说很重要啊。
It's important to her that you don't mind the rules of the village, so you speak freely.
Oh, I see. I nodded thoughtfully. Sure enough, as Shanghua said in the evening, most of the people in the village regard Shanghua as a superior god, so they couldn't communicate to her naturally. So it seems that my existence is really important to Shanghua right now.
季明儿，你若是有一天离开了，希望你能记住一件事儿。
By the way, Jingming, if you leave one day, I hope you can remember one thing.
我们隐居于此，就是为了能够躲避外界，不受外界的打扰。
We live here in seclusion, so that we can hide from the outside world without any disturbance.
That's
如果有一
understandable.
天你出去了，这里的事
And if you one day return
不
back
足为外
outside,
人道也。
please keep it a secret.
Kungza said to me in all earnestness, and I remembered his sentence in my heart. When night comes again, it's time to fulfill my agreement. I'm going to fight Shanghua at night. I bolted the door and walked through the streets, through the woods, and came to the starry lake as I did for the last few days. However, this time I didn't see Shanghua. Usually at this time she would sit on the shore and look at the lake quietly. And tonight she's gone. Where is she? Please, did we die? We did not die yet. That's good. We're still alive.
我在这里。
I'm here. Suddenly a pair of hands covered my eyes and blocked my view. Shanghai was behind me, covering my eyes like a prank. Her hands were a little cold, which made me shiver in an instant, but her chest behind was very soft, which made me quickly calm down regardless of the cold hands. Ooh. Her fingers, like white carved jade, slowly moved away, freeing my sight. When I turned around, she stood there, looking at me with a smile. I thought you won't be here today. She did not answer my question, but she just held out her hand
来
again.
吧，
Come on. She took me by my hand as usual and led me to the wooden boat. Although I would not fall in the mud without holding hands, we still maintained the habit of holding until we reached the boat. This tacit understanding formed without agreement has a strange sense of ambiguity.
感觉你逐渐习惯这里了。
Feels like you're getting used to it, aren't you? Well, yeah. The villagers are nice, easy to get along with. Farming, weaving, fishing, hunting, all these things were boring to me before. But after actually trying them out, man, everything seems so interesting new.
那你打算长久的在这里生活吗？
Do you plan here to live here for a long time then? Not sure yet, actually. Answered honestly.
今天你准备了什么要给我讲？
What have you prepared to tell me today? Should it be you to start the
今
topic?
天你来提。
You started today. Let me tell you how a girl from the outside world spends her day.
好啊，
Alright. A girl who looked about your age outside should go to school. Most of the time, they study with the peers, preparing for college entrance examinations or writing their graduation
高考
theses.
是何物？
What is the college entrance examination? It's a collective examination for outsiders as they approach adulthood. For many people, the college entrance exam is a great opportunity to change their life, so everyone works hard. A graduation thesis is another kind of test to deal with after the college entrance exam. Feels like she still doesn't understand, but I'm going on. After all, I'm going to get the part that she's most interested in. For the girls out there, it's hard to study. Girls can go to many places during the holidays. In the outside world, there are many places you may like, actually. There are some cinemas, aquariums, amusement
天
parks.
我开始听不懂了，这些你一个个讲吧。
Oh wait, not so fast. I'm beginning to lose my head. Tell me one by one. Good. So a cinema is like a dark place where people sit in seats together, watching a screen with moving figures. An aquarium is a tunnel where visitors can go through. There are huge glass tanks on bottom sides of the tunnel which all kind of aquatic creatures swing. An amusement park has many amusing infrastructures like roller coasters, Ferris wheels, pirate ships. For example, the Ferris wheel is like a huge water wheel that people sit on in every cabin of the water wheel and take them to high altitude to watch beautiful scenery.
摩天轮很有趣，我想在桃花源内建一个。
Well, the ferries seems like a very interesting thing. Maybe I want to build one in Peach Blossom Spring. It's actually not that easy. The power of the water wheel comes from flowing water. It could be difficult to build a ferry wheel dozens of times larger than a water wheel.
可以一试。
It could be a try. Chunghua raised her hand and flowing water on the lake began to rotate. She's a magician. She flexed her fingers slightly and the whirlpool spun faster, forming a water spout. Oh yeah, I almost forgot that you got superpowers. And as soon as you raise your hand, the surroundings change. With some careful thinking, it might be possible to build a ferry wheel. Chunghua was a little happy to hear me say that. That if you ever want to build a Ferris wheel, I can be your engineer and tell you exactly how to build it.
好啊，
Alright. Chunghua smiled happily and for a moment had an illusion. Just like a girl from the outside. Just a girl who was born in the outside world who would be happy to hear about amusement parks and Ferris wheels. I stared into her eyes and imagined another life she might have had. During this time, we fell into a period of silence. I looked at her. And she looked at me too. Neither of us said a word. She did not escape my eye, nor did I. As this ambiguous gaze stayed for a while, time was just frozen. My heart beat faster and faster. Always feeling... What's going to happen?
季明，这几天你都在陪我，我很开心。
Jimeng, I'm actually very happy that you have been with me these past few days. She broke the silence first.
你讲的很多事，我觉得很有趣。能听你讲，我很开心。
A lot of things were very interested which you've told me about, and I was very happy to listen to.
我在想，要不要给你一些奖励
Don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me. I was wondering if I should give you a reward. A reward?
对，
Right. She gave a charming smile. Then she approached me along the boat.
你陪了我这么多天，必定有所企图吧？
You've been with me for so many days. Must have an intention, right?
那么，今夜我可以让你做想做的事。
So tonight, I can let you do whatever you want.
在白天来临前，你我都尽兴一些吧。
So before day comes, you and I can enjoy ourselves. Her breath was close at hand, and her eyes looked at me. My heart beat faster and faster and faster. And the so-called reward is self-evident. It must be an exciting thing that can further our relationship. The offer is tempting, but I need to calm down. The way she looked at me now wasn't like she looked like a lover. Chenghua, your invitation is quite interesting, quite tempting, I must say. Just let it go tonight.
哦，
She was surprised by my reaction. But we still have a lack of understanding after all. But I don't really know you. Even I don't know even I don't know myself much. A few days ago I told you about love. I don't think there is love between us now. If you want to go further, it's better for us to get to know each other better.
你这样想，倒也不错。
That's how you think. That's not bad.
不过我挺好奇的，你为何说不了解自己？
I was curious. You just said right now you don't know much about yourself. I originally thought I was the kind of person who didn't live well in the outside world and had a negative attitude. I've been feeling a little weird recently. I always feel like I'm not this kind of person, and my memories are all fake. I feel uncomfortable and a little irresponsible to be too close to you before I understand myself.
你这男人还挺有趣的。
You're kind of a funny guy, I must say. Xianghua smiled. Then she got up and went to the bow of the boat.
你刚才的说辞，乍听之下像是胡编乱造的借口，却又有几分可信度。
What you just said right now sounds like a fabricated excuse, but it has some credibility. She looked back and smiled with her eyes cold and seductive.
那我便依了你的意思，今晚给你另一种奖励吧。
I'll do what you want and give you another reward tonight. She stood at the bow of the boat and picked up her skirt gracefully. She raised her toes and arched the soles of her feet slightly. She touched the lake with the tips of her toes and stepped on the lake. I'm not taking guys going to Matt. Be careful! I couldn't help exclaiming, fearing that she would fall to the bottom of the lake. I rushed forward and held out my hand, trying to hold her, trying to catch her. In the next moment, something unexpected happened. She's dancing. Is that the dance that she's been practicing? Wow, amazing. Or she's not dancing. Or is she dancing? She stepped firmly on the surface of the water. The starry lake seemed to be tamed by her. The surface of the water held her lovely feet, and she did not sink because of gravity. She stood on tiptoe, took her first step and tapped the lake. The ripples of the lake spread around her toes. I'm all too familiar with those starting moves. When I saw at the altar in the daytime, it was Xianghua. I realized in an instant that the mountain god was going to do. She's going to dance. She moved lightly, touched the water with her toes, and danced step by step. She waved the sleeves and danced at a faster pace. Her dance rippled the water surface at the same time. The ring on the body would tremble slightly. Though there was no musical instruments playing around her, I felt the melody from the dance. And the lake reflected the starry sky, and her shadow danced in the shadows of the moon. And every time she waved her sleeves, it seemed she could dive the stars to sway. This amazing dance made the atmosphere seem to be intoxicated and ambiguous, but this romantic beauty couldn't make me think any further. Tonight, her dancing proficiencies had been honed to the extreme, which is far from comparable to that in the daytime. It's like this fluidity you get when you've done the same dance thousands of times. And every moment has no hesitation at all, as if it's natural and silky to the extreme. The steps are charming, and the skirt is flittering, the goddess. And I suddenly remembered the name of Xianghua given by the villagers. Only then did I feel that the title was genuine. I just want to enjoy it quietly and remember this dream-like scene in my heart. And so I watched her dance and listened to the shaking bell. Gradually her dancing posture became blurred and scattered into countless double images. My eyelids began to grow heavy and my consciousness began to blur. Okay. My last conscious feelings, I felt the fingertips running across my face and stroking my chin. She said something in a low
季
voice.
明，你这人倒挺有趣的，我有点舍不得你了。
Jimmy, you're a very interesting one, and I'm reluctant to let you go.
明天来这里时，给我讲讲你自己的事吧。
When you come here tomorrow, tell me a little bit more about yourself. Whoa, I've lived in the village for a couple of days. And I've become accustomed to the faint smell of sawdust. Slept so well that I woke up late today, and the sunshine outside the window is very strong. Not like an allure, but like noon. I stretched and got out. Oh. Suddenly remembered I forgot to check the timer last night because I was in a hurry to see Shanghua. The timer, it should be almost countdown, right? I took out the timer and looked on it, an hour. According to the error of 10 times, the timer will ring after 9 to 10 hours. It's supposed to remind me to return. However, I don't have to leave Peach Blossom Spring right now. I like this village, and I'm used to living here. Okay, where are we? We are alive. We're alive. We're alive. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. This is the end of the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment down below, share your thoughts with me. What do you think about this seductive Shanghua? Is she could she be really a human? Is it just the same people, a day and night difference? Because we have not checked the houses while everybody's sleeping. We have not checked them. It could be that everyone is just out. No one is sleeping. Everybody's out. I don't know. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. See you next episode. Have a good day, everyone.